last Saturday. Yeah. Oh, it's great what she has on there. Awesome. Oh yeah. Where's all the food? Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like go up there. Not a lot of shade out here.
Okay, it's a little loud. I think I'll have everybody start moving towards the center here somewhere, or at least moving back a ways here. All of you guys here, come out. Hello, everyone. Now, if I can, I'd like to have more of the speakers here so that, the speakers can see you all. Okay, we're not getting much progress. Okay, so do I have everyone's attention?
Switch.
It's not. Okay, how does this sound?
Yeah.
Everybody hear me? That's great. Is this better? Okay, so let me start by introducing myself. I'm Ken Alumni Association, and I'm really excited to be here. This is really a special day. It's special for two reasons. One, we get to dedicate two great boats, a nice Resolute for the women and a great Vespoli for the men. It's also a great day because this dedication marks the end of our best fundraiser ever. We more than doubled what we raised last year, and I want to thank all the alumni who contributed because it's really making a difference. Beach crew is just, it's a club sport, which means it's a limited budget, and as all you rowers know, it's paid for by your dues, a limited amount of funding from the school, and any donations that the alumni make. This is what keeps the team going. So, unlike the really fully funded schools who can afford new boats, and their average age of the fleet is pretty new, we rely heavily on acquiring really good used boats, and then we restore them. And your funds are going to go through to fully refurbish these boats. And when it's all said and done, what we're going to have is a fleet, and that's this year, that is both safe and competitive. And that's what we're looking for. So again, thank you very much. We also depend a lot on the community support, and that has really grown this year. And two groups in particular I'd like to thank, and that's the Long Beach Rowing Association, who really stepped up this year to help our guys get our boats in shape and run these regattas, and then just in general encourage our rowers, and that really means a lot. And we've also seen a realignment of our relationship with the Century Club, and thanks to Joan for making that introduction. The Century Club is dedicated to promoting sports in Long Beach. We have a long association with them. When I was rowing back in late 60s, early 70s, my coach was Bill Lockyer. They were the go-to guys. And we really appreciate the support they've got, the financial support they're offering. It means a lot to have the community also recognize how important this program is. And of course, probably the most important is the university. We really count on the support of the university. We work closely with Rita Hayes, the director of Club Sports and Recreation, and we've appreciated all the help we've gotten, not only just with the rowing, but also getting our guys kind of tuned into some of the social programs, tutoring and that sort of thing. Because one of our goals is we want you to have a great rowing experience, but we also want you to graduate, preferably in 4 years. So that's really great. So while we're thanking the university folks, this brings us to our guest speaker. the president of Blom State, Dr. Jane Connolly. Dr. Connolly comes from us from UCR. She's a nationally recognized educator. She has her doctorate in school psychology from the University of Texas in Austin. She's nationally renowned. She has over 21 books that she's published on the subject of psychology. She was the dean of the Department of Education at UC Santa Barbara. She went over as the interim regent of, or head of the University of California, Riverside. And fortunately for us, I think she had a choice between University of Oregon and Long Beach State, and fortunately, she chose us. And I think it's a lucky day. And I think what really struck me about Dr. Connolly is her willingness to engage with the community, to spend her evenings and her weekends to come out, meet the students, see what they're doing, go and meet the alumni, understand what their goals are and what they're trying to accomplish, and meeting with the community leaders. I know she's been to the Century Club already, getting out in the community. So I think I'm really impressed. I think Long Beach State is really left out, and I foresee a great future for Long Beach State under her guidance. With that, let me introduce our new president.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony. I feel like after that introduction, I just shouldn't say anything. I'm ahead right now, so I should stop, you know. It's all downhill. It's only been 7 months and it's downhill. Well, I'm so glad to see the team and hear about the adventures that have preceded or gone on earlier this morning. I was able to visit down here in November, I think, and had a great time. I was invited to get into one of the boats. I thought, oh, that would be so ugly. I won't do that. But I'm determined to get down here some early morning and be in the coach's boat. I think I can handle that. Yeah, and then step by step, I can be inspired by you guys. You know, during the time that John Boyle was here, rowing was a varsity sport, and he was in our varsity and winning teams in the 80s, and then later in the 80s, won many awards and recognition. And right now, I think rowing probably is in this middle ground of a varsity club sport because you've been doing so well in intercollegiate activities. As you all know, it's all about support and dollars to keep our athletic department growing. But I'm especially impressed when it's not just that we've given you're not getting scholarships, you're just doing it. You're coming out, you're paying to do it, and you're excelling at doing it. And you're attracting community support and the support of alums. I had the pleasure of meeting Clark Avery, alum. Where'd he go? There he is, right there in front of me. And I didn't warn him about this, but he was recounting, even before he knew about the difference in his life that being part of the team was, how he's got lifelong friends. You said your lawyer was on the team, and so this is sports at its best. It's engaging the students, and it's creating connections that last a long time. I was delighted to meet John's widow and son, Sean. It's always great to learn about fabulous students that have been here and graduates and know what they've done. And I think just by great luck, where's Joan? Where'd Joan go? Oh, there you are. So apparently Joan's having a documentary made about her, and I even got to be in her documentary. So this is the great thing about being president of this university. I just show up and I get... So the university is doing great because we have students like these, and we have coaches, mentors, and community supporters and alums that really care and that don't give up on us and, keep with it in our uptimes and our downtimes. I see nothing but better and better things for us. Just looking at this crowd standing in this incredibly, wonderful day, but pretty hot, and you're all standing out here. So thank you for inviting me. Thank you for letting me be part of the special dedication of the Joan Lynn Van Blom boat and the John D. Boyle boat. Do we call them boats? Boats. We can call them boats, yeah. Way to go. Go Beach. We should say row beach. Row beach.
Thank you, Dr. Cohen. Okay. Rowing is, they say that especially rowing the 8-man boat is the ultimate team sport. You start in a boat. There's 9 guys, 8 rowers in a coxswain. You start together, you finish together. You win as a team or you lose as a team. There's no stars, really. So when a group of your teammates comes together and decides they'd like to donate some money to name a boat in your honor, that's a really huge honor. John was a real standout rower in the 80s. He rowed, started in 83. He was in the winning varsity 8 boat at the Rira in 1984. And then he came back again, and in 1986, his team, the varsity heavyweight 8, won at Rira again. Following that, he came out. I know he worked for the LBRA. He did other rowing. But then he came on back to Long Beach Crew, and he served as a novice coach for the women. And he did that from about 1988 to 1991. Sadly, he passed away at a very young age before he got to realize a lot of his great potential. He's represented here today by his widow, Janine, and his son, Sean. But here to tell you more is one of his teammates who has founded this all is Greg Harrington. So let me give the mic to Greg Harrington.
Actually, I wasn't behind all this. I think Clark Avery really started everything, so we appreciate it a lot, Clark. Told a friend of mine that I was going to come speak to a bunch of people, and he said the most important thing is to be bold, be brief, and be gone. So I'm going to try and make this as quick as I possibly can. I was here in the 80s. I rode with John and a lot of you out there. John is a good guy. He was a real good guy. He had a tremendous amount of great traits, and some that weren't so good, but we're not going to focus on those. The things I remember most is John was an incredibly loyal guy. He had your back in any circumstance, and he expected you to have his, and I think the guys that spent time with him would agree with that. He was also a tremendous leader. John wasn't the kind of leader who would yell and scream and nag you into submission, into doing something. John would lead by example. He would do something and expect you to follow, and you didn't have a choice. I can't step anecdote, and all you young guys listen to this. My last year here, we were pretty good. We had started out well. We rode well in San Diego. We represented ourselves well in the Copley Cup. We'd gone to Redwood Shores and raced Stanford, and we put it to them. And then we went to Newport, and we were heavily favored to win the Newport Regatta. And I don't know what we did, but we blew it. We laid down, we blew it. John felt responsible. We all felt responsible, but luckily enough, we were going to race Irvine the next week. And tough week of practice. I know all you guys know how that is. Just tough week. We struggled through, went to Newport, and again, hanging our heads, had no more momentum. And John came up with the idea, I guess, and we walked into Irvine's boathouse, sat down next to their varsity crew stretching, and we stretched next to them. We didn't say a word, and we got in our boat, we rowed to the line, didn't say a word, and of course we beat them. I mean, we won by a lot. And again, after we won, we expected to win. We didn't, no yelling, no screaming. We just rowed back to the boathouse, and that's leadership. That was John. I mean, he had the idea, and I think we intimidated them a little bit. I don't know how it happened, but it went really well. And I give that example to you because it worked, and it was a long time ago, but it worked. The crews back in the 80s, we definitely weren't the biggest. Look at me. We weren't the most talented, unfortunately, but we had lots and lots of heart, and we won a lot of races, and we did really well. And I would encourage all of you who are out there today, the biggest thing is just try hard. Don't just think you try hard, try really hard. I know our friend John is looking down and is real proud to have a boat named after him and for his legacy to be carried on here at Long Beach State. And thank you all for coming out. This is incredible. There's 100 people here, so thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Greg. That was really nice. And let me also point out, thank you again, Clark Avery, who was very instrumental in this. Now let me introduce our coach. So let me introduce our coach, Rob Edwards, and our team captain, Jacob Bledsoe.
Ladies and gentlemen, just wanted to say we certainly appreciate all the history that's gone into this. From what we've learned about John Boyle, he was an outstanding rower, an outstanding leader, an outstanding man, and we are very proud to have this boat named after him and in his honor.
Very, very proud. Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for making this happen. I think it's great that we get to honor our past, get to honor where we came from. The team should continue to do that. I think it's important that we think about this and we think about where we came from. I hope everyone on the team comes away inspired by this and comes to practice next week working extra hard, okay? And now we have a gift we'd like to give. Yeah.
So Janine and her son Sean, would you please come up? This is it. Over there. Would you guys stand over there a little bit? Come on, you go. And Dr. Sean? We got to read the inscription.
John D. Boyle, friendly and personable, yet intense and competitive on the water. John Boyle embodied the best of LBSU rowers. His dedication and loyalty made him an example for his team members to follow. Although his time with us was far too short, his influence has continued on. Long Beach State Rowing Racing Shell, dedicated in his honor, March 7th, 2015.
So, by this point, you're all supposed to have a glass of champagne. So, I will, if we need a bottle, we're going to christen the boat, but we need a bottle of champagne. So, these guys got to come over here with something.
You guys all got to
Well, if you don't want to get, I should also note that oar is from the 1980s. So it's all right. Knows how to open it. He's a college man. Very nice. Thanks very much, guys. Okay. Everyone, you still have a chance to get champagne glasses, but I guess we'll all toast at the very end. That's the way to go. Well, thanks again to all the alumni that made this possible to dedicate this boat to John. Well, now we go to our next boat and our next honoree. Now, this is kind of funny because I met Joan probably 1970, 71. I was standing right here. So I do recall very well. And she was very bright. She had a really very happy person. And she had a really excited about life attitude. And she really hasn't changed a bit. I don't think anybody realized at that point, though, that she would become possibly the greatest woman sculler in U.S. history. Her career is pretty much known to all of us. She rowed, she was the first woman to row in what we call the world stage in the early 70s. In the 1976 Olympics, she took silver medal at in the single sculls at Montreal. Then she continued on rowing. She made the team at 80, but that team, of course, suffered from the boycott of Moscow. She went on again in 1984 and won a silver in the quad sculls at the LA Olympics. Additionally, she won a medal as a coach for the Pan American Games, which was really great. And she set numerous American and world indoor rowing records. And along the way, she was inducted into the Long Beach State Hall of Fame, and then into the Century Club, which you know is for the whole city of Long Beach, the Century Club Hall of Fame. And most recently, she was awarded by U.S. Rowing, the Ernestine Bear Award for the sport of rowing. But she's more than just stats. She's a great person, and we all like her. And to give you a little more of insight about her rowing days, back when we knew her, is Victor Gerges, a member of our board of directors for the Beachboro Alumni Association.
Thank you. I have the great privilege to tell you just a little bit about my friend Joan Lynn Van Blom and why she was chosen for this honor. Long Beach State crew alumni and the university guidelines stipulate that for someone's name to be selected for a boat, that person should, quote, represent the best traditions of Long Beach State rowing and the sport of rowing, unquote. As Ken mentioned, Joan has achieved unparalleled accomplishments in women's rowing. Her numerous records and awards speak for themselves, including being the first U.S. woman to medal in rowing at the Olympics. I had the great fortune of being in Montreal, Canada during the summer of 1976 and witnessed Joan's race. I could not have been more proud of Joan for accomplishing what no other American woman had ever done before, but especially for representing Long Beach rowing to her quest to achieve her Olympic dreams. Joan has not only represented the best traditions of Long Beach, she has also helped set the standards for the sport of rowing itself, and they are high standards indeed. Along the way, Joan has inspired others, including me, to become better competitors and better people in general. Like Ken, when I first met Joan in 1971, I was a member of the Long Beach State men's crew team. I remember Joan as being a tall, beautiful, and somewhat shy lady. I had no clue that I was actually meeting one of the fiercest competitors I have ever known. Women's rowing was in its infancy at Long Beach at that time. There was no women's team at Long Beach State, only men's teams, and pretty good ones at that. So Joan, rowing through the Long Beach Rowing Association as a regular part of her daily regimen, would train, or should I say compete, with the men's team both on and off the water. It was not uncommon to find Joan waiting at the break of dawn or in the late afternoons in her single scull as the men's heavyweight eight launched from the boat dock. We had a fast boat, make no mistake, amongst the best on the West Coast at the time. We finished second in the Western Sprints against Washington in 1 year. But Joan would roll around with us around Naples Island and then competitively race down the Marine Stadium against us. Believe me when I say that she always gave us a run for our money. She not only kept up, but often beat us across the finish line, especially in sprints. I remember thinking, damn, this girl is good. She's making me pull hard on this oar. She made me work. As part of our off-the-water training program, Joan would often run the hill with us. For those of you who are not familiar with the hill, it's a street located in Signal Hill, which is, or at least seems like, a nearly vertically inclined street. A nearly vertically inclined street over a third of a mile long. We would run it a half a dozen times or more each time we went. God only knows how much I hated to run the hill. Pardon the expression, but every time I ran it, I wanted to puke at the end. But I must also tell you that I especially hated to run it when Joan ran the hill with us. She would get a 5 or 10 second head start, and then we would all have to chase after her. Not that chasing after Joan was so bad, but I can assure you that not a single one of us wanted to lose or get beaten by Joan, and she beat a lot of us. Don't get me wrong, it was a love-hate relationship back then with Joan. I loved her for who she made me work harder and could beat me, especially on the hill. Joan possessed both great physical strength and excellent rowing skills, and the entire men's team respected and admired her determination to win. We were in total awe. And while she made us work hard, she helped make all of us to be more competitive and better rowers. And as a result, we did very well in those years. I would also like to think that perhaps in some way we contributed to Joan's ultimate achievements and her great accomplishments during her career. I would like to say two more things about Joan, especially for those of you who may not know her that well. First, while Joan has achieved many of the highest accomplishments possible in amateur sports, including competing in the World Championship level and in the Olympic Games, she has always been amongst the most humble and gracious people I have ever known. If anyone deserves the right to brag about her achievements, in my opinion, it would be Joan. But of course, she is the last person who would ever do so. You practically have to drag it out of her. Yet she's always the first person to give high praise to others for their achievements and to lavish great expressions of gratitude on people for their help and contributions to the sport. Second, beyond all of her accomplishments and accolades, if Joan has demonstrated anything, it is her enduring love of this sport and in helping people learn how and to love to row. For Joan, it's all about being on the water on a perfect day, about testing herself and the physical, mental, and spiritual sense of well-being that rowing gives. By rowing well, perhaps perfectly well, and enjoying all that experience encompasses. In addition, over the years, Joan has tried to pass on a sense of purpose, this sense of purpose and enjoyment, to the many rowers who have followed in her footsteps. In addition, she's raised over $1 million in grants to bring rowing to young people, high school students, and teachers. In so doing, she has helped to perpetuate the sport for future generations to come. Joan has been and will always be a role model to me and to other past, present, and future Long Beach rowers. Her competitive spirit, determination, her humility, and high standards serve as lofty and noble ideals, and her unflagging commitment to perpetuating the sport has contributed greatly to the tradition of rowing at Long Beach. I feel deeply honored to call her my friend and to help her recognize her at today's ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic. Thank you very much. Now we'll introduce the coach, the women's coach, Ian Simpson. And is Kelsey Davis around? Where's Kelsey? She's the team captain.
Okay, I'm also going to bring up the team vice presidents, Ricky and Ari. Okay, I was going to say a few words about Joan, but I can't really express it any better than Vic. He did a really good job. But I would say that everything that he said about Joan when he was remembering her in the 1970s, they're still applicable today. It's only a few years ago that I was coaching rowers, scullers around the island, and it was always a thrill for the scullers whenever Joan would come and join in with us, and she displayed the same characteristics of, ferocity, competitiveness, hard work. She was always the first one to the bend at the yacht club. She'd always take the inside line. But she was an inspiration to all the scullers because they could learn from her. They learned how to be a competitor. They learned how to pull hard every single stroke. And I think that pretty much typifies Joan's career. You pulled hard every stroke. And she's carried that, I think, into some of her other issues that she's dealing with. She's a fighter, and she's a winner. And we're very proud to have her in our community. And we're especially proud to have her name on this boat. As Vic said, Joan was the first U.S. women's Olympic medalist, and this boat used to belong to Cal Berkeley women's team, and some of the more recent last Olympic medalists also rowed in this boat when they were at Cal, so there's kind of a nice kind of continuity here. So we're very proud to have the women's team rowing in a boat bearing Joan's name. Okay, I just want to hand over to Kelsey to say a few words from the team, and then we'll come back to me a little bit later.
Yeah, thanks. So hopefully we'll be able to continue the Olympic trend that's been going on with this boat here. We'll see about that. But we just want to say thank you to the BCA, the Century Club, all the community members, Joan. We're so appreciative to have this boat and to have the opportunity to row a new boat to our fleet. And it's been really a pick-me-up for our team as we step into a new season with a new coach, to then have access to this boat, which has allowed us to really make great moves forward in our season. And so it's been really a wonderful thing, and we are very proud to have your name on it, Joan. Thank you.
So we're going to make a presentation to Joan. We have this beautiful oar, and it says, Joan Lynn Van Blom, the passion and dedication that led her to become an Olympic medalist and world indoor champion rower, combined with a generous spirit to serve and mentor others, is an example to all who would strive to succeed in sports and life. LBSU Racing Show dedicated in her honor, March 7th, 2015. So, Joan, would you like to come up, please?
Well, I am overwhelmed. This is such a very big honor for me. You know, I started as a freshman at Cal State Long Beach in 1970, and as we've said, you know, there wasn't a women's crew at the time, but there was a men's crew, and I met some men from the men's crew that said, come down and watch us, and we had the club here, and it was just so welcoming. You hear horror stories about women in rowing clubs and with crews of women my vintage that they weren't welcome around the men or around the men's crew. And I feel so very fortunate that wasn't the way it was at Long Beach. Cal State Long Beach, look at Victor and Ken. I mean, they were rowing here, and they were so welcoming, and also appreciated women that were competitive. And many of them helped to get the women's crew started here, the Cal State, Long Beach State women's crew, and some of the women that were rowing at Long Beach State with me helped to start women's crew. And it really is because it was so much support from the men here that a lot of women weren't experiencing in other parts of the country. And if these men or the people here, the coaches, the dedicated coaches at Long Beach State, that don't get paid anything, you know, and they stick at it and develop these teams with low budgets, and it's because there was a crew program here in Long Beach that I was able to row, even though they didn't have women's crew at the start. The club was here, we were sharing the same facility, and there were people here that were welcoming, and rowing has given me everything that's just about everything that's pleasurable in my life. I've, the friendships, the bonds from rowing, and I'm just so honored that there's a boat named after me here. When I see these Long Beach State women and men rowing here now, and I know they're not doing it for scholarships. They're doing it because the love of the rowing, because they're enthusiastic. They're seeing the value of it, the value of being fit, and the beauty of the sport, the most beautiful sport there is. And I talked to some of them today about their racing, and it's so heartwarming, and it's so wonderful for me to be able to be here and to have my name on a boat that they'll be rowing, because that's it. They're ones that love rowing. They're here because they love rowing, and they understand the beauty of it and the value of it. And so thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity to share that. Now I'm very happy. Thank you. And go Beach! All my sisters graduated in Cal State Long Beach. We are all Long Beach State and their husbands, and so we're and Long Beach State. I got a great education. I got a great career out of it. So, and then along with the rowing, it's just bonus. Thank you. And I got, best of all, I got a great husband.
Thank you so much, Joe. That was really nice. So, first we have to get a bottle of champagne. Can we get a champagne around here? I hope you guys saved one. All right, thank you.
And what I didn't do, I wanted to thank Dr. Connolly. This is just magnificent to have the president of the university here for supporting through. Thank you so much.
Okay, Joan. Thank you. Okay, you want to switch it off? Okay, thank you. Pour over the bow and where you want. And you want to go for it? No, John's right. Hey, watch it. No, be clear.
Ken?
Okay. We'll come.
Really, I wish that all the people that enjoy rolling this shell get as much pleasure or more than I got of rowing for my life.
Thank you very much. And we're really happy. Well, as you can see, there's a lot of champagne left. And for those of you who don't like Spanish champagne, there's sparkling water and cake. So, oh, first we have to have pictures. Come on. Well, I would take a toast, but do you have all have glasses? Okay, everyone has it. So let's toast to our honoree and our new boat. Good luck to all. Here, here.
No, we're just playing around. She's the official.
Not on? There we go. Okay, everyone, I want to thank one other person, who's the person who made these lovely oars at present and who designed them, and the guy who primarily refurbished all these boats and who was leader of the committee to organize. Is John around? Where's John? John, all right, there he is. Give him a round. He's done an incredible amount of work. There you go, John. All right, well, thank you all for coming. This has been a great event. I hope everyone enjoys the champagne. Bye-bye.
dressed up.
Yeah, how I was like.
another one over there. I know Greg has one. I'm like, Greg sold it. She sold it to somebody. Yep. Who's the Avengers? The Avengers over there? I know the. I think I'm too heavy for the Avengers. Barney. He has a
Test.
You're gonna go, right? The donkey plays, I have it, right? Yeah, he'll give you everything to the right end. Well, you have my phone number. LC Drill. LC Drill. E-L-C-E-D-R-A-L. Got it. East LC Drill. His eyes went, my hip went, you got a rod in your leg. When the ladies come back, the headpiece and the top box in the office. Tell them they're saying we can't take that to the party. Yeah, they didn't go when they were supposed to go. So they got no time.
See ya.